Hello, and welcome back. I've been thoroughly enjoying rewatching these episodes of the Creepshow series. Let's sit back, relax, and enjoy 3 more spooky tales. If you'd like to see the full episodes for yourself, I'll provide links to Shudder and Amazon so you can get your hands on this series. Anyway, let's get to it. Oh, and subscribe and all that stuff. Our first segment is a story that seems to be a fan favorite. It's a story titled All Hallows Eve from Season 1, Episode 3, originally airing on October 10th, 2019. The episode begins on a crisp Halloween evening in the suburban town of Smithville. 5 teenagers, Pete, Jill, Binky, Bobby, and Pete's younger brother Skeeter, gather at the town cemetery. Dressed in various costumes, they refer to themselves as the Golden Dragons. Their demeanor is somber yet determined as they set out for their annual trick-or-treating ritual. Their first stop is at the home of Mr. Boatner, an elderly man who is visibly terrified upon seeing them. In an attempt to appease them, he offers them his entire bowl of candy and even a cake his wife made the day before. The dragons, unimpressed, make cryptic remarks about yesterdays, suggesting a deeper history between them and the townsfolk.
Go down about yesterday, Mr. Boatner.
Well, I guess we kinda are. But you would know all about that, wouldn't you, Boatner? About a lot of yesterdays. Am I right?
Come on, guys. It's enough. Leave him alone.
Yeah, Jill's right. Vicky, let's go.
They proceed to the Collins residence. Mrs. Collins, clearly intimidated, invites them in and hastily prepares fresh muffins. Her husband, Ralph Collins, enters and confronts the group, accusing them of terrorizing the neighborhood and lamenting the loss of their only son. Pete responds coldly, indicating that their actions will cease only when their plans are complete.
Every year you just keep coming back. You destroy our lives. He was our only son. Our only boy.
First it was the Smiths, then the Kittners, then the Boatners. Last year was us. Who's next, you psychotic little bastards? When will you stop?
When we're through, Mr. Collins.
The group then visits the remnants of their old treehouse, now reduced to a charred stump. This somber moment reveals a tragic backstory. Years prior, Eddie Hathaway and his friends set the treehouse ablaze as a prank, unaware that the Golden Dragons were inside. Trapped by a jammed door, the children perished in the fire. Since then, their spirits have returned each Halloween to exact vengeance on those responsible.
You thinking about Mom and Dad? I miss them too.
Their final destination is the Hathaway residence. Finding no response at the door, they break in and confront Mrs. Hathaway, who sits in a rocking chair with a shotgun. She claims her son, Eddie, is away, but the dragons are unconvinced. Eddie emerges and attempts to use the shotgun, but it fails to fire. Mrs. Hathaway, resigned, tells her son that they would have found him regardless.
Do it.
Killing things is quick.
Letting them grow is what takes time.
I'll do it. I ain't afraid.
Yeah? Then how come you've been hiding out behind your mother's apron strings for all these years? Just like all your other candy-ass friends.
The group drags Eddie to the site of the burned treehouse. He pleads innocence, blaming his friends for the prank. Skeeter reveals his charred face, confirming Eddie's guilt.
You saw it, Skeeter. Tell him it wasn't me. Tell him I'm innocent. Oh, God! Oh, my God! Oh, my...
The dragons tie Eddie to the tree and set it ablaze, mirroring the fate they suffered. With their revenge complete, the Golden Dragons return to their graves, their annual cycle of retribution finally at an end.
Well, that's that.
Not soon enough for me.
It's good to be home, though. Gotta admit.
All Hallows Eve received generally positive feedback, especially from fans who love the seasonal, spooky atmosphere tied to Halloween. The episode's eerie vibe, complete with creepy costumes, haunted houses, and menacing trick-or-treaters, helped it stand out as a classic horror story that both embraced and subverted Halloween traditions. The tension built throughout the episode, slowly unveiling the horrifying truth behind the Halloween night, made it a suspenseful ride from start to finish. The kids, who initially seem like typical horror film protagonists, are given more depth as the story progresses. The audience reaction to the escalating horror was seen as more relatable than expected, making their struggle more impactful. The use of Halloween imagery was a hit with fans, many of whom appreciated the episode's ability to create genuine fear around an otherwise joyful holiday. However, some fans found the pacing a little uneven, particularly in the middle of the episode, where the build-up was slower than expected. Others felt that the ending, while satisfying, could have been more shocking or twist-laden, as it followed a more predictable route toward resolution. Despite this, All Hallows Eve was still viewed as a fun and spooky tribute to Halloween. The playful mix of folklore, eerie visuals, and the eventual discovery of what made Halloween so scary in this sleepy little town. Ultimately, All Hallows Eve is remembered as a standout story within the Creepshow series, and it's a tale that resonates with fans whenever the show is brought up. If you're in search of a scary story that packs an emotional punch, this episode is sure to hit the mark. Our second story is titled Night of the Paw, from Season 1, Episode 5, originally airing on October 24th, 2019. The episode opens on a dark and stormy night. Angela, a woman in her early 30s, is driving frantically along a deserted road. Suddenly, she loses control of the vehicle, and the car veers off the road, crashing into a ditch. She stumbles up the steps and to the front door of a funeral home. As soon as the man inside answers, Angela passes out on the man's porch.
Not at all what I expected.
Angela awakens in a dimly lit room, her head bandaged and her arm in a sling. She realizes she's in a funeral home, lying on an embalming table. An elderly man, Avery Whitey Whitlock, introduces himself as the mortician who bandaged her wounds and brought her to his back room to heal. As Angela listens, she becomes increasingly uneasy and suspicious of Whitey's intentions. She glances around the room, her eyes darting to various tools and instruments he uses for embalming. He explains that he had to amputate 2 of her fingers due to severe damage. He attempts to alleviate her anxieties by engaging in conversation, eventually revealing a mysterious artifact, a mummified monkey's paw. Whitey explains that the paw grants 3 wishes, but cautions that the wishes come with unforeseen consequences. As he speaks, Angela's unease deepens, her heart pounding in her chest. She can't shake the feeling that something isn't right. Whitey narrates the story of how he and his deceased wife, Marjorie, came into possession of the accursed artifact. Marjorie utilized the paw to wish for financial stability, and soon after, she suffered a tragic demise in a severe accident. A large insurance payout followed Marjorie's death.
Marjorie!
In his despair, Whitey employed the paw's remaining wishes to attempt to reverse the grim outcome. He wished to revive his wife, Marjorie. Marjorie was miraculously restored to life, but her return was nothing short of a nightmarish ordeal. Rather than the loving wife he had known, she came back as a grotesque, undead creature.
It's me, my love. Come to save you. I'm sorry.
Devoid of any remnants of her former self, horrified and heartbroken, Whitey made his final wish, desperate to end Marjorie's suffering once and for all. While Angela remains skeptical of Whitey's story, she eventually reveals that she's on the run after committing a crime and is desperate to escape. However, Whitey persists, insisting that fate had brought her to him for a reason. He pushes the monkey's paw into her trembling hand, suggesting that she use it to alter her destiny. Whitey reveals that his actual third and final wish was for someone to come and end his life, believing Angela's arrival to be the fulfillment of that wish. Angela, reluctant to commit another killing, refuses and throws the paw into the fireplace. Whitey retaliates by retrieving it, but in doing so he catches fire. Angela is left with no choice but to shoot him to end his suffering. But it was a hallucination. Reluctant, she takes the paw and steals a hearse, driving to the morgue where her husband's body is kept. It's revealed that Angela was in fact the person who ended her husband's life. She wishes for him to get up, inadvertently causing not only her husband but all of the corpses in the morgue to reanimate. The paw's final finger curls, awaiting its next victim. Night of the Paw was well received by fans, particularly those who enjoyed Creepshow's darker, more atmospheric episodes. The use of the classic monkey's paw legend resonated with fans, as it added a layer of supernatural horror to the otherwise grounded setting. The episode's pacing was considered tight, with each scene unfolding into the next in a way that built tension without overstaying its welcome. Angela's character arc, from a skeptical survivor to a desperate individual seeking redemption, was also praised for its depth. Her use of the monkey's paw, while predictable in some aspects, kept the audience on edge, wondering how each wish would play out. The reanimated husband and Whitey's tragic backstory added emotional weight to the episode, making the eventual outcome all the more impactful. Some fans, however, felt the episode could have benefited from a deeper exploration of the consequences of wish-making, with a few wishing the final act had been a bit more dramatic. Despite these minor critiques, Night of the Paw was generally seen as a standout episode that expertly balanced tension, suspense, and heartbreak in a way that only Creepshow could deliver. Our final segment is from a story titled 20 Minutes with Cassandra, from Season 4, Episode 1, originally airing on October 13th, 2023. Our story starts with Lorna Snell, a video game journalist, returns home after a very long day, seeking solace in a glass of wine, a pineapple pizza, and the soothing sounds of a classic record. Her evening is abruptly interrupted by a frantic knock at the door. Initially hesitant, she peers through the peephole to find a distressed woman pleading for help. Moved by compassion, Lorna allows her inside. The woman introduces herself as Cassandra, explaining that she's being pursued by a relentless monster that kills anyone who aids her. Cassandra warns Lorna that by offering assistance, she's now marked for death, with only 20 minutes to live. Skeptical, Lorna attempts to call the police, but Cassandra insists that involving others will only lead to more deaths. To prevent this, Cassandra throws Lorna's phone out the window.
I'd like to report a woman in distress. I'm gonna put her on, okay?
Ma'am, what's your address?
Lorna Snell at 27. What the fuck? I'm trying to help you. You can't.
When a delivery man arrives, Lorna tries to retrieve her phone, but the monster swiftly kills him, validating Cassandra's ominous claims. Realizing the gravity of the situation, Lorna arms herself and prepares for the impending threat. The monster, a grotesque hulking mouse-like humanoid, attacks but is temporarily repelled by Lorna's makeshift weapons.
I mean it.
Seeking a moment of normalcy, she remembers her pizza order. When the delivery man arrives, she urges him to leave immediately. Despite her warnings, he insists on completing the delivery, of course, resulting in nothing. Nothing happens. The pizza man drops off the pizza at the front door and leaves. I worked as a pizza delivery driver when I was younger, and I can relate. A woman trying to shoo you away because she says there's a demon in the backyard? Trust me, that's just another Friday night. Inside the pizza box, Lorna discovers a blood-written message, "Meet me in the back." Following the directive, she encounters the monster, who surprisingly initiates a conversation.
Hello. I overheard your conversation with the pizza delivery guy, and I feel real bad.
Why?
Why am I doing this? Her monster, her rules.
The monster expresses fatigue from his role in her manipulations. Determined to end the cycle, Lorna confronts Cassandra, accusing her of exploiting others under the guise of seeking help. Cassandra, unrepentant, leaves, declaring that Lorna can now deal with the monster herself.
No. I said no! I need a minute!
You've had 20. More, actually.
Yeah, but that was been dealing with her bullshit. Can I just reclaim the space for like 5 goddamn seconds?
No, you're right. Just waiting outside could be frustrating as all.
Just have a seat.
In their shared fatigue, they find a moment of understanding. Lorna reveals she harbors her own inner demons, symbolized by a creature hidden within her coffee table. The monster offers to confront it, but Lorna declines, acknowledging that some battles are personal. As they sit together, the monster admits his weariness, and Lorna responds with empathy, recognizing the toll of their respective burdens.
God, I'm tired. I'm really, really tired.
I know.
Women, this just goes to show you, even your deepest, darkest demons can get sick of your bullshit.